Hi there, my name is Cudabear. I've been playing RuneScape on and off since 2005. During that time I've played lots of restricted accounts, but I've never played the game as it was intended since 2011. Now, I'm seeking to change that by building a main to endgame content as fast as possible using routing and macro efficiency. Welcome back to Macro Efficient Main. Welcome back to episode 11 of the OSRS Macro Efficient Main. In the last episode, I got some very critical upgrades for farming, and that'll allow us to earn more passive money as we continue into today's questing grind. Let's go ahead and continue with Macro Efficient Main. Alright, with all that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get back to questing, finally. I'm going to go ahead and get started with one of the easiest quests in the game, but one of the most important, and one that I was blocked on for a while on fire making, but I have all the requirements for now, and that's Tears of Guthix. Let's get started. And boom, just like that, literally 2 minutes, and that's the Tears of Guthix. But there's one thing I want to do real quick before I actually claim my experience for the first week from this. And that was actually get one quick construction level, such that my construction experience is higher than my Slayer experience, as I want all of the Tears of Guthix experience to go on Slayer for now. And there we go, all the way up to 30 Slayer from that. It definitely seems worth it to put it into Slayer, as it's one of the slowest skills, and it's really easy to keep it low throughout most of your early game progress. So as we go, I'll continue leveling up these skills each week to make sure that it goes into Slayer for at least the first couple weeks. Then I'm sure at some point it'll swap over to runecrafting or some other skill. Alright, from this point on, the next couple quests are probably going to feel pretty random. I'm basically just cleaning up quests that weren't super important to me, but also need to be done, and I have all the requirements for. So that's what we'll be doing, starting with Spirits of the Elid. Definitely worth buying some Narda teleports for this one. And there we go, the end of the Spirits of the Elid. Super easy quest, nice prayer experience reward, can never complain, and we can pray at it too, and it gives us a full restore of all of our stats, so super cool. Alright, on to the next quest, one that's also extremely overdue, is the Fremennik Trials. A little bit longer, but it's worth it. Let's get it done. This one's always a little long and annoying, but it's always a very classic one to get out of the way, and it obviously unlocks so much more content down the road, plus the massive experience reward across so many skills is also pretty nice. So of course we're going to go ahead and keep this moving with Fremennik Isles. Alright, and that's the end of the Fremennik Isles. I'm actually going to put the 10,000 experience onto Strength, as it will increase my training in the future a little bit more, and I'm going to want to get all of these 3 up to 65 anyway. Gives me just 1 level, and that's the end of the quest. The more important part is actually that the Helm of Natisnot gets obtained in this quest, which is a huge melee unlock, being an awesome prayer and strength boosting item in the helmet slot. Our melee setup is looking almost perfect, just actually need to get a Defender, which I don't have the levels for yet, and maybe some D-boots after I hit 60 defense. So next up, we actually have Edgar's Ruse. Let's get that done next. Alright, this is the end of Edgar's Ruse. Turning on the Goutweed here, of course got a couple more Goutweeds for upcoming quests. But that's 11k Herblore experience, which is huge. All the way up to 34 Herblore from that one. Absolutely love it. And with that out of the way, we're going to move on to Taibowane Trio as our next quest. this is the end of Taibo Wanai Trio. Actually, pretty easy on a main account. I can't complain at all. Of course, though, this isn't the actual end of the quest, as I have to go claim these experience rewards from each of the suns. So let's do that. All right, first we go ahead and claim the combat experience rewards. Oh wait, no, that's the fishing reward. Never mind. And now we claim the cooking reward, which is also pretty nice. And then lastly, the combat experience reward, which is actually pretty nice because it's, yeah, 2.5k in each of my offensive melee stats, which can't complain about for sure. With that one out of the way, our next one is actually going to be My Arm's Big Adventure, which will be great because it'll give me another herb patch. So let's do that one next. Alright, so My Arm's Big Adventure requires Taibo Wanai favor in order to complete. However, because you lose some favor during that quest, it's worth it to get all the way up to 100% for the diary task that's required of that. So I went ahead and just killed jungle spiders, which is really fast actually. It's 1 to 2% favor per kill. So this really only took about 10 minutes and it was worth getting knocked out. Now we can actually start the quest. So let's go on a big adventure with My Arm. There we go. That's the end of My Arm's Big Adventure. A huge herblore experience drop and farming experience, which is super great. And I'll have access to this farm patch now to be able to grow more herbs, as My Arm will watch over it. So I can grow Renars or Snapdragons here free and not have to worry about them dying. One more herb patch on the routine. And now that that one's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next quest, which is actually going to be the Slug Menace. I'm actually really happy to get this one done, as it'll unlock some of the better prayer gear that I'll have access to. And there we go. That's the end of the Slug Menace, which is super nice, as it allows me to go ahead and purchase Proselyte from Certification here, which is a bit of an upgrade for my prayer armor, which is super great. As everyone knows, the Proselyte armor is actually adamant armor, and it has a prayer boost that is actually greater than that of Monk's Robes. So plus 23 for the full set, which is absolutely incredible. All right, on to the next quest, which is actually going to be Getting Ahead. Alright, there's the end of Getting Ahead, which is a pretty easy quest, but super nice, as it gives a little bit of crafting and construction experience, both of which are very valuable at this point. Enough to give me a construction level, which is pretty nice. Before we move on, a quick housekeeping note. As you can see, I've been keeping up with my farm runs and birdhouse runs, just processed everything. Now we're up to 5.2 million in the bank, and that's basically been super nice, since obviously I'm not focusing on money making, and it's still happening in the background. There we go, another successful Hespori kill, but more importantly, if we clear the patch, there's 70 farming, which is extremely notable, as that's the requirement for Song of the Elves and the highest farming requirement of any quest in the game. So this is pretty much where my farming journey will end for this series. I'll still be doing some farming in the background, just doing my herb runs and my mahogany trees, but I'm out of Hespori seeds, and there's no real reason for me to do any more farming in the short term, so 70 is where that'll end. Next up is the Shazian Quest, but I need 20% favor for it, and I've only got 5%. I would technically have almost 20% if I had been killing the lizardmans in the correct location, which was not in the last episode, but this is the correct location where you can get favor for killing them, so it'll just be a little bit of time here, and then we can move on. Decided to go and get some Chinchompas. They're a little expensive, but the lizardmen are really clustered here, and I think it might be fun, as well as provide a nice boost to range experience. Let's give this a try. So in conclusion, they kind of kicked my butt, but it's pretty good. Over 120k experience per hour, and I'm very quickly on my way to 20%. Can't complain. That should be 20% favor once I kill a couple more. I also got an extra Zeah's talisman through this grind, which is pretty nice because now I'll be able to put one in my house at some point whenever I get the construction level for it, as well as have one in my bank for convenience. So I have both options available to me. There we go, 20.1%. Let's get started with the Lobokenge Quest. Alright, there's the end of Tale of the Righteous. This was a bit of an annoying one. I didn't realize just how long it takes to get to Raids 1 when you don't have any teleport options available. Jeez. But we also get a little bit of Shazian favor for doing the quest, which is incredible. Plus another page for the Cardes memoirs. So this guy is training magic on Trollheim teleport. I can't say I've seen that before. Alright, next up is the Lobokenge Quest. So I'm going to need 20% favor in that as well. Time to mine some volcanic sulfur. And there we go, that's the end of all the Zeah house quests. Of course, not including a kingdom divided. And of course, as with the other quests in Zeah, we get a 10% favor certificate for Lovegenj and a page for the Cardes memoirs that I'll add. Alright, another week, another batch of tiers. Of course, making sure Slayer was my lowest experience gives me 35 Slayer. Pretty good, considering it only takes a couple of minutes. Alright, next up is we need to actually go ahead and complete our entire favor grind. So that means I'm going to start with Shazian, and we're back at the Lizardman Canyon to get up to 84% favor, so that we can then finish the favor grind with the soldier kills in the combat ring. So I'm probably going to be here for at least an hour. Alright, I got just under 84, like 82%, and I'm going to wrap up here by getting the Shazian armor by, of course, fighting the soldiers here. So let's do that. Oh, I'm not allowed to range these guys. Whoops. There's the full Shazian Armor 5 set, and as part of that, full Shazian favor complete. Probably won't need this for a while, but it's handy to have knocked out of the way. Alright, let's move on to the next favor, which will be Lovegenj. Oh, and finally, over 75% Lovegenj favor. That means we can wrap it up with the minecart system unlock. So let's do that. So to start unlocking the minecart network on Zeah, we start by talking to Mirren here in Lovegenj. They'll give us the task of going around and unlocking the other stations by giving them the maps. And here's the very last control scroll that needs to be delivered. I could have totally prevented a double run out to Mount Quidamortem had I actually gotten the control scrolls before coming out here for one of the earlier quests. Something I would probably do is it's like a 5-minute run. It's really nice to have this unlocked now, as I'll be able to get here much faster in the future, at least until I unlock the teleport for the Zeah's talisman. Thanks to that, that's 100% Lovegenj favor. Let's go dig some sandworms for the rest of Piscarilius. And there we go, turning in this last batch of the red worms, and we are at 100% favor in all 5 houses. Let's go ahead and talk to the architects and finish up the Architectural Alliance mini quest. First things first, we have to begin the Architectural Alliance mini quest officially by talking to Hosa, the architect for Hosidius. Then we can talk to each of the individual architects for the houses and get them locked in to help with the statue. First beginning with Pilar here in Port Piscarilius. Then talking to Arceus here in Arceus, Lovada from Lobokenge, and finally Shada from the Shazian house. And then we just turned it in by talking to Hosa one more time. And one really nice thing about completing this now is it gives us a 10,000 experience lamp that we can go ahead and of course put into rune crafting, putting us up to 47. Incredible. One small thing I forgot to do earlier, and I figured I'd get knocked out of the way now, is actually find the transportation incantations that you need to unlock the teleport Decor into Castle spell. For some reason, I totally forgot to do this before I did the end of the Arceus grind, but thankfully it's really easy to find with the plugin for the library here, so that didn't take long at all, and now I can use that spell. So of course, throughout this episode and the last, we continue to get more and more donations of Wizard's Mind Bombs, and that's absolutely incredible. I can't believe what all of this community has managed to pull together to create, and it's just hilariously awesome. So thank you so much to everyone who has and continues to donate to this collection. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Today's update is officially 1,181,000 Wizards Mind Bombs. That is just staggering. It's worth 137 million coins currently, but it has been fluctuating a lot as the price of the individual Wizards Mind Bomb has been up to 150 coins. That is so much. Thank you all. And that is actually where we're going to go ahead and end off today's episode of Macroefficient Main. In this episode, we did quite a bit of work, though most of it was just completing the Architectural Alliance mini quest, which is something that wasn't a requirement for the quest cape until recently with the release of A Kingdom Divided. It was both a little annoying to do that, but also pretty nice as that 10k experience lamp and the effects of having 100% favor in all houses will be beneficial to us for sure. Of course, we need to take a look at how much playtime we've had in this episode and the last, and it's more than I expected. This is about 37 hours increase over the Barrow's Glove episode, which is actually kind of stunning to me because I feel like I haven't done that much in that time. I guess getting favor is really slow. Really, that's more time than I expected. Progress should continue to be more smooth from here on out though, so hopefully that's the case. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video, and if you're interested to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.